Hey everyone, Stephanie Dimon from the Dimon Homestead here, and I am going to be working on a Christmas craft. And this is something that you guys can do at home with your kids or with grandkids, or it's a very easy and simple craft to do. And it makes a really good gift or decoration or stocking stuffer or an Etsy store item. So yes, they will be available on the Etsy store. And just to address a few concerns and questions I've been getting a lot lately, when anyone logs onto the store, they're messaging me saying, hey, I'm not seeing any of your soaps, or I'm not seeing any of your honey stuff. For whatever reason, if the item is sold out, you just can't see it. So they hide it or it goes somewhere else, I don't know. But if you can't see it, it's probably because it's sold out, but I am working really hard on restocking those items. So just be patient with me and I will get those items restocked so you can see them on the site ASAP. But right now, I'm gonna work on a different craft for Christmas. I got these at Hobby Lobby. These are clear plastic ornaments. There's 24 of them in this box. This was $13 for 24. So I am going to fill them with a bath salt soak. But I'm going to do it in a Christmas theme. So they're going to be a peppermint bath salt, but they're also going to be colored. So it's going to be a white layer, a red layer, a white layer, a red layer, like a little peppermint candy. And I think it's going to look really nice. So what I have here is I've got a large bag of Epsom salt, and I buy these in bulk. So they come in like a 3-pack of these, and so I use a lot of bath salt stuff and crafts and things. So I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna pour it into my large mixing bowl here. I have another smaller mixing bowl here because I'm gonna have 2 different colors and I don't want to mix them. So get started. And I'm sorry if I sound a little under the weather. I think because the weather is changing in Texas. It's like 45 degrees one night, the next night it's 85. So, you know, that weather fluctuation when it comes, when it's fall here, it makes everyone all stuffy. But working with peppermint oil should just clear everything right up. All right, so whenever I do this, it's very chunky. It doesn't pack very well, so sometimes I'll slam the bag on the ground to try to break it up. I have unfortunately busted the bag when I've done that before, so now I just put it in the bowl and I mash it in the bowl to be safe. 1 second. My simple fix for breaking up these large clumps, my potato masher. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my peppermint essential oil, and I'm just going to basically pour as much or as little on this as I see fit. I generally do about 1/4 of the bottle at first. Well, it's about 1/2. And I mix it around, and then I just smell it and see how strong it is, and if I need to add more, I will. Because this is a lot of bath salts. And you really want that scent to come through. So salt naturally absorbs moisture, right? So when you pour these essential oils in the salt, it will distribute throughout the rest of the salts and just hold on and lock in that essential oil in the salt, so that when you sprinkle it in your bath, that hot water releases it and it gives a really nice aroma. Some oils are a lot less pungent than others. Like I've found that some essential oils are very, very potent, and some of them are just kind of like mild. This one is more on the mild side, so I may end up putting the entire bottle in this so that you really get that smell coming through. Because this bottle is not a whole lot for this big bowl. Oh, by the way, hang around until the end of the video, because if you do, I have a pretty cool announcement to make about something coming up. And I think I'm also going to be cutting some soaps that I've made yesterday. At the end of the video, I'll just hang out and chat with you guys and cut some soap. So, if you want to hear a cool announcement, and I'm pretty sure you do because it could benefit you, hang around with me. What the heck. Okay, I'll pour the whole bottle in there. Okay, now that I have all of this good and combined, I think now I'm going to separate some of this into another bowl. It's okay. I was going to say I wish it was a bigger bowl, but we'll make it work. If I need to add more later, we'll do that. So I'm just going to scoop in a good amount. Try not to make a mess. Now I'll tell you one thing I do not have. I used to have, and I don't know where it went, long time ago, a funnel, like a small funnel. This would have been ideal. I don't have a funnel, so I'm gonna have to make one with a piece of paper and some tape. So we'll be doing that here in a second so we can funnel this into the little bulbs. Hopefully it works. Okay, so I've filled up in my secondary bowl some of the Epsom salts. So now let me show you. I've got these mica powders. Mica powder is an all-natural colorant. I use these in my soaps. They come from the earth, and yeah, so I've got a magic red, a bright red, a glitter deep red, and a super flash wine red. You know, I don't know. I think all of these could work well as a Christmas red, but I'm kind of digging this super flash wine red. I don't know. Let's try it. And we can always mix and match, you know? We don't have to stay committed to this one red. Let's just see. It's actually more of like a I'm just like a little bit so I can see how it turns out in the Epsom salt. I don't like it. No, I don't like it. It's more orangey than red. So let's go with this bright red and see. Whew. Oh yeah, I think this is going to be our winner here. So we're going to mix this in really well, and it's actually going to turn almost like a pink. But that's okay because I don't want you to be sitting in your bath and just be in like a ton of pink water. You know, we just want this, and it's not going to stain, it won't stain your skin or your bathtub, so don't worry. But I just want it to lightly color so you can see a peppermint layer in the salts. And I think this is perfect. Look how this is turning out. All right, have this all mixed. It looks really pretty. I'm gonna take a piece of paper, and actually I'm gonna take one of these little ornaments out because I want to see, and I'm just basically popping this little tab off of the bulb, and then you can just squeeze it back together and push it back in. I'm gonna see how big this hole is because that's how big I need to make the funnel. This might be a slow process because this hole's kind of tiny, but we'll make it work. Okay. Snipped a little bit of the top off. All right, let's see about that. I'm gonna tap off as much of this pink that I can so I can try to keep the colors. One thing you're gonna wanna do is really pack this in because especially if you're shipping them or putting them in the mail or whatever it is, you know, you don't want it to mix inside the ornament. You want it to stay layered. So try not to shake the bulb so much when you're doing this. Try to just tap on the funnel. I gave the funnel, the bulb a little bit of a tap on the table because it had this like peak in the middle and I wanted it to kind of flatten out, so I just tapped it on the table to get the salts to flatten. It's looking good. How pretty is this, guys? It's turning out so cute. I love it. Okay, we've reached the top, but what I'm going to do now is get like a chopstick or something and really get this in there good to make sure that this doesn't have a whole lot of room to move around and shake up, because I want the layers to stay as much as possible. Yeah, I think we've reached our point of compaction here. Just kind of using my finger to push it down in there. Okay, it's got a cute little swirl to it. So now I'm just going to take the top here and I'm just going to pinch these little metal clasp back inside the bulb and push this cap back on top. And you can tie a cute little ribbon or a name tag or anything. I'm just kind of giving this a good little squeeze so that it stays on as good as possible, because yeah, you may even want to put a little bit of tape around it if you're wanting to hang it, because these are going to be heavy. So you don't want to hang these from your tree and then all of a sudden you wake up the next morning and there's just stuff everywhere. So if you do hang these, make sure that you maybe put a little bit of a decorative tape or something around the edge where it connects to the actual plastic bulb to help give it some security. But look at that. Isn't that cool? I don't know, I love it. So, and these are heavy. Yeah, this is a heavy little ball here. Depending on how much or little that you use in your bath water, I would say that this would probably get me maybe 2 to 3 baths worth. I mean, I don't put a whole lot of salts in my bath, but yeah, I would probably do half of this or maybe even a third of this per bath. So gets a couple uses out of it. Anyway, so try it out and let me know if you do, if you like it. So these will be available on the store. I'm gonna make a bunch of these. I'm gonna get me a funnel to make it easier. Yeah, so that's the craft for today, the Christmas craft. Now, thank you for hanging out with me this long, and I will go ahead and tell you something that's coming up. So our wonderful YouTube family has stuck with us since January when we started the page. And I really try to give my thanks as much as possible in the best way that I know how. And that is to share with you guys, you know, I wish I could share with everyone, but we hit 20,000 subscribers. So with that being said, and with our new Etsy page being launched, I want to, we're going to talk about it on Sundays Live, but we're going to do a drawing for a lucky YouTube subscriber and send you a little care package with some of our new Etsy line. So just be aware that that's coming up, and we're so excited that we hit 20,000 subscribers. And as we keep growing, we're gonna keep doing this because it's my favorite thing to do, my favorite part. So is to give back. So yeah, thanks for hanging in for that important announcement, because it's definitely a fun thing for me to do. And yeah, so I'm gonna cut some soaps here in a little bit, but right now I'm gonna do this, and then I'll bring you back and we can hang out and cut some soaps. See you in a little bit. All right, I'm gonna take a break from making my little decorative balls here, and let's cut some soap. Honestly, I love doing this so much. It's so satisfying. So I posted a picture last night. One of you guys, you sent me a package of 2 crock pots, and it totally just, you know, it made my night. It was amazing. So I was able to do a lot more soap at one time than I have ever been able to do before. So it's totally gonna make this process for me faster and easier, and get soaps restocked on my site faster. So I appreciate that so much. I'm also gonna show you a fail. It's pretty funny. I mean, it's a funny fail because I feel like we're always like, I don't know, you want to be, I don't know, everyone wants to like act like they know what they're doing. And obviously, like I've made soaps hundreds of times, but I got a new soap mold. One of our friends sent us a soap mold to try. So I got the soap mold to try, and there's different ways to process soap. There's a cold process method and a hot process method. I do a lot of hot process method soaps because they're ready quicker than cold process. Cold process has to cure for like 4 to 6 weeks. So I like to do hot process so it can be used almost the next day. So I tried this hot process soap in this mold. Did not work out. I'll show you in a minute. All right, so let's cut this Highboy Cowboy soap. And I do want your opinion on something. Give me a second. I need to grab my ruler. Hold on. By the way, a little tip. Hot process soap, while yes, you can use it almost like immediately the next day, it's still very soft. So the longer you let the bar evaporate that moisture, the bar will be harder and last longer. You can use soft soap. It's like kind of like pliable, almost like a Play-Doh, but it'll melt quicker in the water. If you let it harden for like 5 days or so, you get a harder bar and it'll last longer. So just keep that in mind if you ever do receive like a soft soap, maybe from me, I don't know, depends on how quickly I get these shipped out. You may just want to let it sit on your counter for a little bit. I try to always let mine cure for at least a couple days before they ship out. But you just never know if you run across a really soft bar. It's just because it needs a little bit more time to harden up, or you can use it right away, up to you. I just made a couple marks on the soap so that I know where to cut. So I like to have 1-inch bars. I feel like that's a really good substantial bar. Some soaps are a little smaller, but okay. So what I wanted to ask you guys is, do you care or prefer that this hot process soap, the way that it cures on top is very rustic? You see that? It's very rustic. Cold process soap is liquid, is in a liquid state, or more liquid state when you pour it in the mold, so it has a very smooth top. I could cut the tops of these off and make it very uniform and kind of like cleaner looking. I kind of like the, I don't know, it seems more rustic to me. That's all, the only word I can think of is rustic. It doesn't bother me at all, but I was wondering, you know, your opinion, would you prefer to have like a very clean cut bar, or are you good with the rustic look? I'm good with rustic. Plus, especially with these ridges in the bar, it's not a very square bar anyway, because it's got these little ridges in it with this cutter. Yeah. So, anyway, I did High Boy Cowboy last night, and I did the apple pie one last night as well. So, be more baked apple pie for the fall. That will be a seasonal soap. It won't be available all year round. It will be a fall line. Something else I was telling Buddy, because I'm constantly thinking and brainstorming, that I want to do is like a baby line, which I think would be really neat to do, like a care package for new moms, like a very gentle baby soap. So maybe something with like oatmeal and goat's milk, something very soothing, gentle on the skin. So we'll be thinking about doing something like that in the future. Right now I'm just trying to catch up on the current stuff I've got going on. I also made a bunch of salves last night because Caden had to ride home with the rest of the team, and he had to wait for the JV team to play, and they were 2 hours away. So we had to stay up till 11 o'clock at night anyway in order to go get Caden. So I was up just doing this stuff. All right, so I've cut this bar. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 bars of soap. All right, let's cut the other one. Let me just set this aside here. Gosh, I love this smell. Buddy really, he's got a nose, and he's got a really good sniffer. I feel like I can smell some things, but like I feel like I've got a normal nose. But Buddy has a very extraordinary sense of smell. So when he put those two together, I think he did a really good job. Those scents. And if you missed it, his High Boy Cowboy soap that he crafted, he picked out the scents and the colors for it, and I just made the soap. It's leather and sweet tobacco. He said it reminds him of his grandfather, because his grandfather, whenever he would get in his grandfather's truck, he would have pipe tobacco and something in his car or in his truck that reminded him of that smell. So I thought that was pretty special. And this one here is the apple pie. Which really makes me want an apple pie. Don't eat the soap. It's not edible, but it smells like it is. One day, I'm gonna get me one of those cool cutters where you just put the log in there and you just slice it and it all slices uniform. That's gonna be nice. But this is okay. This works for me. This has worked for me this whole time. Oops. Something else I'll point out too when you're making soap is that you'll see inside the soap bars. Let me see if I can find one. This is kind of a small one. Okay, so do you see these little like flecks of different they're like almost like a tannish color in the soap? That's part of it with the hot process. When you're mixing in colors and scents and things, I try my best to mix as much as I can, but sometimes there's little tiny pockets of the soap base that doesn't get that colorant in it, and so it leaves these little flecks of different lighter colors or just no color added at all. And that's kind of part of that hot process, because it's like thicker and almost, I don't want to say chunkier in nature, but it is like, it's like you're mixing Vaseline. It's like you're mixing this color into like a Vaseline base or something. So sometimes not everything completely combines, but it just gives it that little rustic touch, I think. Like this one has a little bit of a mark right there. Some people will cut the ends off of the bar and give it the uniform wave look. I don't, because honestly this has a little bit more soap included in it than the regular bars. When you measure them out, the ends have just a little bit more left on them, and why waste? Why waste? And so someone's going to get a little bit extra with their bar. So I don't cut this and make it uniform because I think it's more soap for someone else. So I'll leave that. I just leave that alone. But yeah, cut 2 bars of soap. Let me show you my fail. Yeah. So first, let me show you the mold that our friend gifted us. Okay, it's this. And so cute, right? I mean, it's like got these little scrubby things on the end of it, so it gives it a little bit of like, you know, texture to the soap. And I was like, absolutely cannot wait. Got it yesterday, made the soap yesterday. So, lesson learned. These molds are gonna be great for cold process soap, which it has a more liquid, you pour it in a liquid state and not so much a gelled state, because the gelled state doesn't really make it into the little nubby things at the end. And I pulled out one. Let me just show you. It's a little bit, it's just a little bit, can you tell? It didn't work out. It didn't work out. The little scrubby things are a little misshapen and not all uniform. Maybe I picked the wrong color for this soap. It's giving, I don't know. So I'm going to try to salvage this soap here by taking my straight edge, and we're going to clean up the ends, because the ends are a little, because the way that this is the other side of it, right? So the way that it kind of like, I have to scrape it in there, not very pretty. So I'm just gonna cut straight down and try to clean up the back side of it a little bit. And I am very excited to use this mold for cold process. I think it's gonna be a great mold for that. So that's the back side that I just kind of made real nice and smooth. I'm going to try to cut off these, see if that will work out, because I really want to salvage this soap. I don't want it to go to waste. Nice. So that worked out. So I just basically cut a whole layer of this off, and now I've got just an oval bar. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. So we now lesson learned, okay? Let's bring you in close while we unmold these. these. Let's see if we can get a close-up shot of this one. Maybe they won't all be a fail, who knows? Nope. Well, yeah, I'm just not digging it. I'm not digging the way that these, it's just weird. They're all different, pointy, and no. So we're just gonna do what we did with the other one. And let's just try to clean this up as best we can. Without losing a whole bunch of soap. Okay, there's a little pocket of no color right there, but you can still see the where the little divots were in the soap. That might dry out. That might just be holding more moisture, and it may all, or it just might give it a cool little pattern. Who knows? So, lesson learned. I think it's hilarious. One of these days, this mold is going to make a really great soap. I just know it. And I'll take these, I'm sure I'll take these scraps and do something with them. They won't go to waste. Okay, so I think it turned out okay. We saved them. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and thanks for letting me share my successes and my failures with you, so that maybe if you decide to do this, you'll know what to avoid in the future, or what to do, either or. But I can't wait to hang out with you guys on the Sunday Live, and we will catch you on the next one tomorrow, of course. And I'm sure we'll have plenty of updates for you with what's going on outside. And I've really got to get to the garden and do that too, so a bunch of stuff coming up in the future for you guys. But thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.